All right, welcome. Today, we're gearing up for a real adventure. We're not climbing a mountain or anything, but we're diving into something just as exciting, a creative expedition using design thinking. And like any great journey, success doesn't just happen when you start. It all begins with the prep. So, let's get our gear together and figure out where we're headed.
Before we even take our first step, we need to get our bearings with two core ideas. The first one is to think with your hands. This is all about getting ideas out of your head and into the real world. Make them tangible. And that flows right into our second principle, showing things is better than just talking about them. Seriously, a quick sketch or a simple model can explain a complex idea way faster and clearer than words ever could. This is kind of our true north for this whole journey.
So with those principles in mind, we've got to adopt the right mindset. Think of these as the rules of the road for our trip. It's not just about what you're doing, but how you're thinking about the work.
And here's the most important rule of all. You are not on this expedition by yourself. Design thinking is, fundamentally, a team sport. The whole goal is to create this, living, breathing, creative space where everyone can build on each other's ideas. It's all about that collective genius, not one person having all the answers.
Okay, so if it's a team sport, then our very first real step on this expedition is a big one. We gotta assemble the crew.
So, what's the magic number? Well, the consensus points to a team of about 8 to 9 people. And what's cool about this is why that number works so well. It's big enough that you get a ton of different perspectives and ideas, but it's small enough that you can still move fast, you can avoid that whole groupthink trap, and you can make sure every single person actually gets heard. This is your core unit. Okay, so you've got your crew. What's next? Well, you wouldn't just set off without a map, right? So the next critical phase is to chart a really clear course for your project. The path forward has 3 key checkpoints, and the order here really matters. So after you have your team, the next step is the project plan. This is where you figure out your mission, the what, and the why of your entire expedition. It's only after you have that clarity that you move on to the project timeline. A super common mistake that just tanks projects is setting deadlines before the goal is even clear. Following this exact order is how you stay on course.
All right, we have our team and we have our map. The last thing we need before we get going is our gear. It is time to gather our essential tools and pack our expedition kit.
Your toolkit is going to have 2 main parts. On one side, you've got your analog tools, like the classic design journal. That's for your own personal thinking. And on the other, you've got digital tools like Trello and Miro, which are the shared platforms that keep the whole team moving together. Let's start with the most personal and maybe the most powerful tool in your kit.
Let's talk about your most essential piece of analog gear, the design journal. Now, don't think of this as just some random notebook. Think of it more like the official logbook for your journey, where you document everything from that very first spark of an idea all the way to your final thoughts on the project.
And its versatility is really its superpower. This journal becomes a living, breathing document. It captures everything, right? From messy meeting notes and quick sketches to organized checklists. But honestly, the most critical entries are usually the reflections, those quiet moments where you stop and think about why an idea worked or, why it didn't. It's not just a project archive. It's a record of how you're growing.
Okay, now let's flip over to the digital side and see how we scale this up for the whole team. Tools like Trello or Miro are basically designed to take all that amazing individual work and organize it so everyone can see it. They use these visual boards to track tasks, to share files, and to create a single source of truth so everyone knows where the mission stands at a glance. Think of it as your team's mission control.
And there you have it. You've got the right mindset, you've got your team, you've mapped out your plan and your timeline, and you've packed your toolkit with both your personal and your team's gear. All the preparations are done. You are officially ready to begin.
So, the only question left to ask is the most exciting one of all. With your crew assembled and your ship ready to sail, you are literally standing at the edge of a new frontier of innovation. Your expedition is ready. So, what problem are you going to solve first?